Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to Volleyball's WB Mason Report, usually with head coach Emily Mansour. But as everybody knows, Coach Mansour is nearing the end of her pregnancy, and we are transitioning for the next few shows to Associate Head Coach Hava Davis. Hava, welcome to the hot seat. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Stephen.
Hopefully, you'll be able to give the fans what they want in this weekly show in the absence of Emily, but hopefully we will give the fans some insight on the program as we normally do. So, Coach, you went 1-1 for the second straight week up at Northeastern. Give us your overall assessment of how the team played last week.
It's a really up and down weekend that we had. I mean, obviously going 5 both matches and winning one, losing one is pretty indicative of that. But if you look at the game scores, we beat them pretty badly in some sets and then would turn around and lose very badly in the next set. So it shows a little bit of immaturity on our part, but we went into a place that's usually very hard to compete in. I don't know why, but Northeastern just plays really well in their own home, and we struggle there a lot in the past. And so it was nice to get out of there with 1 win. We feel like we could have had 2 wins, but we're still growing and we're still learning and maturing as a group.
Yeah, and you mentioned that they're kind of the growth and the maturity and everything. Your youth is, I mean, everywhere on the roster, and it's very good. Your setter, your libero, one of your outsides. They're and the conference weekly awards have shown that. How excited are you that you've been able to mature and get these wins early on with such a young roster playing their first ever conference season?
Yeah, it's really exciting that they can kind of get up to speed as quickly as they have. We were preaching, and I'm sure Emily said it a million times, the preseason is for growth and learning and making mistakes so we can get better. And the conference season is where we compete, and we're learning to compete. It's coming a little bit later than we might have liked as a coaching staff, but the young athletes are starting to figure out the things that they need to do to be competitive. So that's fun to watch.
Yeah, and you've obviously been around Hofstra for quite a few years. Obviously, this is the year 1 of the second installment of Hava Davis, but the normal Hofstra strengths are the offense, and it's kind of changed this year where you guys are an incredible blocking team, and you name the player, they've done it this year. Zaire, Sarah, Damla, Athena, and they've all kind of contributed at different times. How have you guys managed to kind of transform yourselves into this incredibly strong defensive team, particularly blocking?
Well, I think part of it has to do with the time that they put in studying other teams and doing scouting and things like that. The other part of it is just the time that they're putting in the gym. I've been with the program now for 2 months, and it's really fun to see the middle blockers getting a lot better each day with their understanding of the game and their movements on the court and their reading of the opponent's offense. They spend a ton of time working on their footwork and their handwork at the net. And I think the other part of it is they're pretty big physically. I mean, Athena's maybe 6'5", 6'6", Sarah's 6'3", jumps really well. Damla's 6'3" and really long and agile. So, and we don't even need to talk about how athletic Zaire is. I mean, she's crazy athletic, and it's just nice to see them put it together and put in the work to get better and see those dividends pay off.
The CA schedule this year did you guys really no favors. You opened up with the defending champ, and then you played the team that they played in the conference championship match. Is that almost the best case scenario for you guys? You guys were tested as much as you possibly might be heading into the rest of the conference slate. You kind of saw what Towson and what Northeastern has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the schedule at the beginning, you go, "Oh my gosh, how could they do this to us?" And then you kind of see the silver lining, and as you said, hey, we're going to get tested early. And once we started watching film and seeing just what the talent that we had in the gym, we thought, okay, we feel like we can go in and compete with them. And that's a really nice, for us, confidence builder if we can play against the top 2 teams from what was a very shortened season last year and beat them. Well, that's a big confidence builder because we know we can compete with anybody. And so that's been really nice. Hopefully we can grow from that and stop splitting on weekends and start going 2-0. But yeah, it's interesting that that was the schedule, but it's nice that we got what we did out of it.
And another week of play, and another Hofstra student athlete gets a weekly award from the CA. Hava, remarkably, it's been 5 different student athletes through 5 weeks of the season have gotten awards, which I mean just shows you guys the depth and the talent on this roster. I guess first question is thoughts on Damla, and how proud are you of her of getting the award?
Oh, we're super excited for Damla to get the award. She works so hard and she's such a good teammate. And it's nice for us to see that hard work pay off. I know I keep saying that, but we're in the gym working with them so much, and you know that they want to do it. They want to achieve these goals and win these matches and have great performances. And it doesn't always work out that way, but it's nice for them when they get the payoff. And she really, I think there was maybe a little bit of extra excitement for her because one of her best friends is on that Northeastern team, and I think she wanted to beat her. That could have contributed to this great performance she had, but it's really nice. I mean, Damla's such a hardworking girl and such a great teammate.
And then back to the overall, that 5 different student athletes have gotten awards already, and none of them are named Anna Martinovich, who leads you guys in kills, which kind of just speaks to real, like I touched on before, the depth of this team. What do you make of that, and how many different student athletes have gotten awards so far?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It just speaks to the depth that we have on this team and how much everybody is contributing. I mean, volleyball is one of the most unbelievable team sports. You can't have one superstar and win everything. And we're getting wins and we're grinding out tough road wins and tough home wins because everybody is contributing. It's not one superstar taking over the game. And I think once we can get everybody operating at a high level together, it's really sky's the limit for this team. But it's nice to see the depth, and it's fun to watch them do this.
And Hava, this weekend, your road trip takes you guys to Delaware. What are your thoughts on the Blue Hens as you head into this weekend?
So they've had a really difficult as far as scheduling preseason. They played some, pretty powerful teams out there, and their record wouldn't indicate how talented they are. They're a good team. We've watched a lot of video on them. They do some really great stuff. They're very big and physical in certain positions. They have a really aggressive, talented setter. But we feel like we can compete with and beat anybody in the conference. We're not worried so much about what they do. We're just worried more about what we're doing and how we're building and growing. I think it's going to be great competition. We're playing in their building. They are always tough there, but we feel like if we just do the things that we need to do, we should come out with a good result.
Interestingly enough, both Hofstra and Delaware played a slew of 5-set matches this year. So we know what might be in store on Saturday and Sunday, right?
Correct. Yeah, we're in for a long day and a long weekend, I'm sure.
Well, Hava, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for stepping in for Emily until we hear about the new child in her life. But wish you good luck this weekend, and thanks again for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Stephen.
And thank you, Hofstra fans, for joining us in the W. Mason Coach Report with Associate Head Coach Hava Davis.